We never talked about Trump. How much of the first
I
thing did you
watched
watch?
like 20 or 30 minutes of it. I thought it was kind of boring, so I
Right.
kind of turned it off then. But
Uh,
why don't you tell everyone what happened?
so Trump is just, I mean, I guess Trump kind of threw his chances of getting reelected away on January 6th. Like January 6th, it was really over.
Hmm.
They've painted a narrative. And this is
You think so?
in my estimation, I don't think Trump has really taken to heart the kind of damage that the media can do to him by lying about him. I think he's
Hmm.
kind of in denial that the media's lies have effects on people.
Well, he thrived for a very long time being like the renegade, so maybe that's why.
Right. Yeah. I think the media lies, and I mean I'm not. I think obviously the whole fucking January 6th insurrection, death to democracy, worse than fucking 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. It's all just
Right, a very incredibly
yeah
hyperbolic. Yes.
a joke beyond belief, like
Yes.
completely living
What's
in
her
an
name?
alternate
Kamala Harris
reality.
saying that I thought
Yeah,
was insane.
yeah.
I actually got in a long. Oh my God. Some of my
Oh,
family members have like
oh
very, very strong
no, oh
CDS.
no.
And I actually got in a very long argument with them because I was like, I made the mistake. I was saying, I think it's preposterous that Kamala Harris compared January 6th to 9/11 and Pearl
Mhm.
Harbor. And
Uh-oh.
they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Cue the 2 hour argument.
Oh no. That's such an argument that I don't want to have with like my
That was
mom or
it's so
dad.
bad. It's
Like
so bad.
I don't want to have that
Right.
conversation. You and I have the luxury of being able to talk to each other about this stuff openly. Like for some
Yeah.
reason, like 99% of our opinions tend to align. 99% of like our moral intuitions tend to align. Like we've read most of the same stuff. So,
Right.
but so when Trump ran the first time in 2016, and one of the reasons why I bet on him early, I said, listen, this guy's going to be the nominee. And if this guy runs against Hillary Clinton, he's going to destroy her because
Hmm.
he's just like he's speaking to the Fairness Cheating Foundation. Yes, Scott Adams, fucking fairness cheating is real. And not only is it real, most people of all political persuasions have the same understanding of it. Like, and
Right.
Trump would frame everything in terms of fairness in a way that just I thought was unstoppable. And he did the we thing. It was all about this is about us. This is about us working together. We need to save America. I mean, he had a grand narrative vision that people could buy into and was motivating. And now I'm like, okay, he's doing this rally, and the rally is the whole thing is just me. This election was stolen from me. This like they robbed me. This is like, and I can't think how do you make a second bid for the White House so much about I need to.
You were wronged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that? I mean, maybe maybe I'm just seeing this incorrectly. Maybe that is a viable
Well,
strategy.
I
Like
don't know.
the
Well, because it
Trump
depends.
voters
Because
were wrong, but doesn't he have to get an additional like million voters or something that weren't wronged because they didn't vote and they don't care?
well, it depends on how it's framed. Because you could frame it like the election was stolen from us,
Mhm.
right? From you, and that was
Right.
part of the framing, right?
But
Was him kind
you
of
have to pick up like a million or 2 million votes.
sure,
That
right?
argument doesn't work on those people because they're like, what? I mean, I was smoking
Well, you
weed.
still need the thing is that I don't think that alone works. Because on top of that, you still need to there still needs to be some positive message for the
Mhm.
future. Like why
Yeah, I
why
know.
should
That's
people
what
vote
I'm
for you?
saying. I'm like,
But I
Trump,
mean,
what's
it's
happening?
early. It's very early. It's
Hmm.
years out. I mean,
Hmm.
there's time for him to cultivate a more positive
Hmm.
message.
You're just saying that because you know I'm going to owe you $500.
Listen, what you guys don't know is Adam DM'd me. And he's like, "Sitch, should I just pay the $500
I
now,
know.
or like?"
I have to settle up too, because Doomer came on a stream here, and Doomer was like, "I'll take half the bet." I'm not. There's no way. I have to take that back, Doomer, if you're listening, because if
You didn't agree to it at the time, so you don't have to take anything back.
well, I did kind of agree to it at the time.
I don't think you did. I don't remember this. I think it was a joke.
Well, it's a terrible situation for me to be in, because if I win, I have to share the money with Doomer. And if I lose, there's no way in hell I'm going to ask Doomer to cough up $250. So if I win, I want all the money. Okay. I'm not looking at setting up a situation where if I lose, I pay all the money. And if I win, I get half the money. That's just that's not a good bet. So I'm sticking with the original bet, and I think I'm definitely going to lose. And I just like, Trump just seemed way, way out of it. Sitch watched part of it, and he messaged me and said, basically, this is the same Trump as before.
Well, that's what was funny, because it's like, well, for those of you who don't know, me and Adam have a bet for $500 where I'm taking the position, I think Trump will not officially run. And what I mean in the criteria was, he will not be in the race. He will not be a votable candidate
in the first primary
for the first primary.
Yeah.
That was my stipulation.
He either runs
Adam said no, he's going to run.
He either runs in Iowa. If he runs in Iowa, I win, even if he drops out of the race halfway through.
Yeah.
But
if he runs in Iowa and does terribly and drops out, I still win.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But Sitch is, I do not think he will run if the polling is against him. And at the performance that I just don't see how the polling is going to be remotely.
Because Adam sent me this video, and he's so demoralized. He's like, Trump is performing so badly in this thing, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I listened to it. I'm like, I don't know, Adam. This sounds like the way he's always been from day one. I don't. That doesn't seem any worse or better than normal. Like, I don't see what you're saying. I was wondering, and I said to you, I feel it's just maybe you were like, when Trump was president, you'd hear him so much, you became kind of like used to the way he talks and like kind of his speech pattern and the things he says. And now they've had a year without him, you forgot. And now that you hear it again, you're like, oh my God.
No, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Like before, he was funny and confident. Now he sounds delusional. I mean,
I see.
It just doesn't. The things that he's saying just doesn't. They don't square with reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He sounds angrier now. He sounds jilted. And maybe that's what you're reacting to. He sounds more jilted.
Well, and he's like kind of just feeling out this whole like the election was stolen argument. Like he's not even making firm declarations like, we know this, we know that, we know this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say one of the things I did notice listening to the speech that you sent me, that it seemed a lot more obvious to me that he was just reacting to the crowd. Like he's usually a lot better at kind of hiding it or kind of drawing the crowd in certain directions. This seemed a lot more obvious that he was just looking for the crowd reaction and then changing based on the direction he thought it was going.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you're reacting to. I don't know. It didn't seem that different to me, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. I mean, it's super interesting that he's having what amounts to a presidential candidacy rally like fucking 3 years out.
Sure, why not?
It just seems weird. I don't know. It seems fucking weird to me.
Though it's funny because you called it weeks ago, where you said it's got to be hell for Trump because he really wanted to push the vaccine as like one of his great achievements, and he can't because it's generally people on the right that are anti the vaccine. And I saw someone had compiled, there was like all these clips of Trump, like 10 different places, all like trying to promote the Trump vaccine. Really? But like he's doing this like weird dance where he's trying to promote it, but like not promote it because he doesn't want to get in trouble with his base. And you were so correct. Yeah. He wanted this to be like the crowning achievement for his administration, and he can't make it. He can't make it so.
Yeah, if he hadn't have created it, they wouldn't be forcing him on it. It's
interesting.
I was arguing with people on Twitter, arguing with fans of the show. I mean, Twitter friends, obviously.
You weren't calling
we weren't-
anyone the C
No,
word.
I didn't go full Shelley on anyone. Okay.
Shelley!
I'm always curious other people's, intuitions about this. A lot of it
Right.
is just feeling out, how is this, how do you see this? Okay. And I said that the crowds looked pretty small. They looked very small to me, and I was doing screenshots of them. And I don't think that that's a big deal about the crowds being small if Trump doesn't go on for 8 minutes about how large the crowd is, because it comes off as completely delusional. It's like he's going on and on and on and talking about how, the cameras are never going to turn around and look at the crowd because they don't want people to know how big it is, while the camera is literally panning over this like tiny crowd. I'm going, this is not a good look. This is not, the media situation needs to be ironed out here.
Right.
So, but I mean, I was talking to people about the crowd size on Twitter, and somebody did jump in and mention the vaccines, and a couple people did, saying that they didn't think Trump had a chance because of the vaccines.
Interesting.
And I was like, really? People are that fucking chapped about the vaccines?
I'm sure
that
they're
going to turn. They're not going to. They've gone from MAGA to no MAGA.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that wouldn't really surprise me.
Oh, it's
again,
it's Daniel Irish right there. Daniel was who I was arguing with on Twitter. Daniel Irish for $10. Respectfully, Adam, your portrayal of the Trump rally as very small was very silly. Yahoo News reported that the rally had 15,000 people attending. That's
15. That did not look like 15,000 people.
It did not look anywhere near 15,000 to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's in the top 4% of Trump's presidential rally. So, okay. Well, I mean,
it didn't look tiny. What I saw, it looked like, I don't know, 500 people, 600 people.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think it was small, but not 15,000. No fucking way.
It didn't look like an Ariana Grande concert by any
Yes,
stretch
it didn't look
of
like there was a chance people would rush the stage and get trampled undertow and die. Okay, it didn't look like a possibility. So
yeah,
that is interesting about the vaccine. But see, goes into what I'm saying. People think that political leaders make the audience, make their fans more extreme, and polarized. And I think it's literally the opposite.
Right.
I think it's the audience that does that. The mob does that.
Yeah, they push you in
the
direction that they want.
Yeah, I think the politicians and the pundits are just simply reacting to the will of the mob.